video is about PermaJet's brand new Double Sided Lustre 295 paper. Double Sided Lustre has an instant dry, microporous coating and a bright white base with a beautiful lustre finish. As you can see, it's super pearly and it's nice and glossy. The size that I'll be using for my project today is A3. PermaJet have very graciously gifted me the new Canon Pro 200, and this is what I'll be using for today's project. I'll also be doing a video about all my thoughts and opinions on the new printer and comparing it to my old Canon printer as well. It's really easy to use wireless connected to your iPad, and this is what I'll be doing today to print my two flash sheets. I've chosen these two flash sheets because they are jam-packed with colour, and I'm interested to see how the saturation turns out, but also if it really is instant dry. My idea for today's project is conventions. I know it seems like something that's a very far away dream whilst we're in quarantine, but in the future I'm kind of planning towards the conventions. So the Double Sided Lustre 295 is going to act as a flash sheet tool for people who want to come and walk up to my booth and get a tattoo there and then. This is the final print from the Canon printer on the Double Lustre, and as you can see, the colours are saturated, they're sharp, they're absolutely perfect, and the colours also match up completely to the palette that I use on Procreate. I know sometimes colours can come out a bit lighter or a bit darker on some paper, but with this paper it always comes out perfect and true to the design. The actual finish looks really professional as well and doesn't look at all like I've printed it in my kitchen. I mentioned at the start that the Double Sided Lustre has an instant dry, and that's what makes this really important, because when you're doing a few different flash sheets you can produce them really quickly, as you can just flip them over and they're ready to be printed on the other side. This is the second flash sheet. I wanted to choose something though that was quite similar to the one on the back so that they make sense, and I just love the colours and the oranges and that bright yellow in the middle of the eye. They just come out so vibrant, and this paper doesn't bleed whatsoever and it really absorbs the ink very quickly. So here is the finished product. We've got my first design on one side and a fairly similar flash sheet on the other side too. It's also important to note that it absolutely is instant dry, because it was bone dry when I got it off the printer. I wanted to include this close up because my camera doesn't do justice just how perfectly saturated and punchy the colours are on my prints. Although I'll primarily be using them at conventions, whilst we're waiting for that to happen, I'm also framing them because they're really good for different options throughout the week, and you can also use them as flash sheets whilst you're in a tattoo studio as well. Thank you so much PermaJet for asking me to review the Double Sided Lustre 295. I'm really impressed with the quality of the print on the paper, and also how thick and durable the paper itself is as well. The finish itself is really professional, which is perfect for conventions, and I needed a paper that would hold on to this vibrant colour really well, and that's exactly what it does. Because you can do so many different things with this paper, I've made a second video about making some tags for my new banners, and they look amazing, so make sure you watch that new video. You can purchase the Double Sided Lustre 295 and loads of other options that they have using my code CL220 for 20% off. Thanks PermaJet.